Formula One fans, thank you for watching the program. You are in Paddock Headquarters. So we are in race week and we're heading towards the Hungarian Grand Prix. In a couple days, we're going to have cars on the grid and we're going to get back to more exciting Formula One action. In the meantime, I just wanted to bring up 2 points. Stefano Domenicali I had read some of his comments regarding the cost cap, and I think his position is similar to really a lot of people in the space. But the 2 points essentially being any breaches of the cost cap from this year have to be known as soon as possible. So of the 10 teams, the FIA is going to get the submissions of all of the financials. They probably do a mid-year or some kind of throughout the year tracking process. But nevertheless, at the end of the year, the assessments of whether any of the teams have breached the cost cap has to be known as soon as possible. Now, that obviously takes money and manpower, but that really is the challenge for the FIA. You don't want rumors. And if there's going to be punishments, which we'll talk about in a second, I guess the decision has to be made whether the punishment is towards the current season or towards the following season. So that's point number one. The assessments of whether anyone has breached the cost cap is really something that has to be known sooner rather than later. There can't be a delay in those accounting procedures. So that's the first point. The second one are punishments. So you can have technical punishments, like Red Bull was assessed a wind tunnel reduction time for the wind tunnel usage on their cars, the development of their cars. You can have financial disciplinary actions, which is fines. And you can have sporting discipline action, right? So you have technical, financial, and sporting. Now, sporting has to be points. It has to be points for a team regarding the constructor's title. So, I guess potentially a team could start in the negative next season if they get assessed 5 points or 10 points in the constructor's title, whatever it may be, more or less. Those sporting violations, I know this was Stefano's position that sporting violations should be a part of the disciplinary package if someone breaches the cost cap. So the FIA has those three, tools in their tool belt: financial, technical, and sporting. But if someone breaches the cost cap, and I doubt it's going to be Red Bull again, their car is so dominant this year, quite frankly, they can leave themselves a nice buffer. They can come under the cap quite a bit. Now, I know they're just starting to work on their next year's car, but I don't expect them to breach the cap again. But you never know. Any one of the 10 teams can go over. There could be mistakes. There could be, misinterpretation of assessments. And ultimately, if one of these teams breaches the cost cap, then there's those 3 types of penalties that can be assessed. But the biggest aspect really has to be if somebody breaches that cost cap, we have to know as soon as possible, as close as possible to either, before the season ends, if they've clearly went over the cost cap before the season ends, or as soon as possible after the season ends. We have to know that just to avoid a lot of problems, and you have to deal with it. You have to deal with it so the other teams, can plan and assess as well. If a competitor is getting fined a certain amount of money, that will go into their planning for next season. So these teams plan 2-3 years out in advance. So that's where we are with the cost cap. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow, another video. Paddock Headquarters out.